I feel like doing
Oh,
the Randy Norton live on WWE. Like what else things?
or we could do the Stone Cold Stunner.
There you
Remember
go.
that one? See, a
There you go.
little old school,
Old school, baby.
All right, all right, everyone. Welcome to another episode. I think we're on 15 or 16. We don't keep count. We just keep rolling.
We just keep going. Yeah.
All right. So this is the AI Business Network. I'm your host, Jonathan Moss, aka JMO, as Coach likes to call me. My co-host, who goes as my stunt double, goes as Coach K. You should know him very well because he's all over the place. He's famous, and I appreciate him being on with me. He makes me kind of upper echelon. He hangs out with like Sam Altman, Mark Benioff, everybody. Okay, anyway, let's get to it. All right, so AI Business Network.
I gave Mark feedback for you, by the way. We were texting last night. Just so, hey Mark, hey, I call him what do I call him? I call him Hey B.
AB. Well, I appreciate you sharing the feedback because it seems like it's making a little bit better. And the last article I saw was actually pretty good. He's kind of leaned off of the AI replacing jobs and stuff, so it's kind of interesting. But anyway, okay. So for those of you that are new, the AI Business Network, here's what we're here to do. So Coach and I have spent a lot of time with AI, with go-to-market leaders, with business leaders, across the board. And one of the biggest things that we found is there's a huge gap between folks that know how to use AI, know how to implement and strategize around AI, then know how to actually change, manage, and deliver that business impact in reality. And so what we did was we created this to provide research, education, help, tools, all the things that you would need to help you along your journey, whether you're just now starting at AI and this is the first time you've heard about it, or if you're more advanced. So we service everyone. If you're a business leader, how to make sure that you can implement AI. And what we hear all the time, it's a boardroom topic, it's a CEO topic, it's an executive leader topic, it's everywhere. So we're here to help. So with that, this is. Yeah, that's right. Rock and roll. So what this is we talk shop every week and about the latest and the greatest. So, typically I share and I'm the guy who prepares. Coach is not so much. He flies by the seat of his pants. And
what are you talking about? I prepare a little bit here and there. I do some stuff. I'm not totally a slacker.
That's true. Well, I mean, you prepare on like an every day, every second basis. You know, that's how you prepare. I prepare in like and so ultimately this is going to be a show that we're not prepared because something dropped today and something dropped a few days ago. So it's kind of wild. So we're gonna.
I know it's like you prepare and then GPT-5 gets thrown. I'm like, the whole plans are gone anyway.
Like,
so
yeah, like who scheduled this? Who scheduled this on the day GPT-5? Like, or actually, you know what? You got to hit your boy Sam up and be like, man, look. You can't be scheduling. You got to schedule these things after AI Biz goes live. You got to.
Come on, Sam.
We can't disrupt our whole show for you. Gosh. I mean, I know you're like the darling of Silicon Valley right now, but we can't do that. Come on, man. All right.
Come on,
GPT-5. Let's chat GPT-5. So let's talk about it. So chat GPT-5 launched today. A lot of press leading up to it, a lot of anticipation, a lot of expectation. I remember the day where I don't know how long ago it was because I didn't have time to prepare. That GPT-5 was going to be AGI worthy, and that was what was happening.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, man. I mean, some great updates, but it's definitely not AGI worthy. So, but there are. There are some cool things. So we're gonna chop that up. But so tell me, Coach, like what were some of your takeaways? I don't know if you watched the live event or not, or I know you paid attention, but what were some key takeaways, some things that you're excited about with GPT-5 and maybe a disappointment? I don't know if you got one.
I don't know if it's disappointment. Like I was expecting the same. Usually been so much tout around agentic and AGI and all this other stuff, and it wasn't as advanced. Like I'm glad they're finally doing some of that coding stuff, which is funny that even though they've been testing on GPT-5, the rumors and the news around OpenAI engineers using Claude to code just came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's interesting that's the case. I don't know how. I'll be curious to see how good it is because I'm not a coder, so I don't know how good coding is from Claude or OpenAI. I'm like, that looks like a cool app, looks good to me. So you never know. What I was impressed about though was the cost was way cheaper than I thought it was going to be for such a big model. You know what I mean? So that was crazy. And I also thought it was interesting they have the GPT-5 Mini and then the Nano. So I love they're giving options to people because that will give you a lot more capabilities through the API to do some really, really cool stuff, like through all the tons of tools that are leveraging OpenAI now. I'm going to be really excited to see what it can do as a result, you know? So that way, I think it's really cool. Lastly was the testing. Like, I think it's impressive they have the tests that they showcase in saying we're the best at this, best at that, blah, 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 which shows kind of a direction of where we're going, which is awesome. What I'm looking forward to is being able to run some of the same workflows and seeing how well it responds to advanced, what I call old school advanced prompts versus the new stuff. Because like some of the demos they were showing, a very simple prompt was getting some really good results. So my question to myself is, and I don't know the answer, is does that mean a good prompt, kind of like deep research? If you do an okay prompt, deep research says good. You do a good prompt, deep research is killer. So it's like, if you give a good prompt, does that make it that times much better? Or is it just like, it doesn't matter, like performance wise, you know? So that's all I'll be curious to see. So what do you think?
Yeah. So I first off, the cost you mentioned, I think what's cool, and I think what's really cool about it is there, and I don't know if you caught this, and for those that didn't catch it on the live stream, is that they're giving Chat GPT away even for free users for Chat GPT 5,
I saw that,
which is really great. And I think it goes to something that our boy Sam, come to the pod, friend of the pod, so come on anytime. It
Go on,
is
Sam.
that is that he wants to be able to arm and put this in the hands of everyone, so there's not any sort of gap and stuff. So I can appreciate the fact that he is giving it out to free. There is a credit limit, but what's cool, something that you mentioned that I really liked is, once you hit your credit limit at GPT or the GPT-5, it goes to the Mini and the Nano. So then you're still kind of getting some GPT-5, but a little bit less costly.
Right.
So I really appreciated that. I appreciated them showcasing the significant improvement in hallucination and factual error reduction. So I thought that was great, especially as this becomes more and more our daily lives. I mean, it's been our daily lives using it for a while, but more and more people's daily lives. I think they're up to like something crazy, like 700 million weekly active users or something crazy like that. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely absurd. That you found something that you don't want to.
I've been refreshing. I just got access to GPT-5 as we speak. I just got access.
Dude, I've been trying and I haven't. So I'm gonna have to do it now here in just a second. All right, so maybe we do some.
Let's do some live stuff, man. Let's try it
out. So I did that. I did like the prompts that you're talking about. So like how a small prompt can do stuff.
It took away my ability to do the. Oh, now I'm gonna be ticked. They won't let me pick the
other models. Your model picker away.
Took my model picker away.
I was going there next. I love the fact that it doesn't have a model picker. I know you hate that. I know that's that's one of only a few things we disagree on, but I appreciate I appreciate the fact that I have to no longer choose models. It just does it for me. It should be smart enough to do that. And I'll say, I think the last thing, going to your coding. So I'll throw a little coding out there. Claude Code, you're right. I mean, it is dominating, and it is dominating enterprise in the code landscape. And I think it is funny and interesting that OpenAI was using Claude Code, but I don't blame them. I would too, because honestly, OpenAI's coding hasn't been great. So I will be interested to see, based on the benchmarks, so it's good to see what happens here, and can they pick up some additional market share. I did a post. I'll pull it up while you're pulling up GPT-5 and throw it out there. But if I remember the numbers correctly, like 2 years ago or a year ago, OpenAI had like 50% market share in enterprise, mainly and enterprise is mainly coding. And let's be honest. I mean, that's mainly what today, or at least last year, mainly is coding use cases. And they went all the way down to like 20 or 21%. And in that same thing, Anthropic went from like 8 or 12 up to 32, and now they're market share leader. So that's definitely where they put their investment behind. And so what I'm excited to see is, like, does this get them on par? Does it get them close? But for me, building web apps and tools like you, I think one of the coolest things seemed like was they're getting more lovable, like more Claude like in regards to building and then being able to have the pane on the right side where you can interact with the game, interact with the code, do the code, etc. So I thought that was a good enhancement that they haven't been really good at in the past. So that was my overall take on it.
I'm testing something out right now. I'm going to show you the difference between these two. I don't know if you saw with you, but like, I mean, no one wants to watch me live prompt, but we'll just do it.
I want to watch you live prompt. I want to see.
No.
You're prompting whiz, man.
I don't know about that. Okay, so I have an old prompt that's like a competency model prompt I put in GPT-5. You'll see here when you come in here. Oh, sorry. So let me do this. Let's go to this one. This is this old one. So this is GPT-5. I ran it and it gave you this is for a competency model, and it does exactly how I instructed, which is what role do you want a competency model for? And I just say enterprise sales for momentum, and then bam, gives me this stuff, which is pretty similar to what I did before, right? So now I'm going to test this against not giving the same prompt, just doing it, kind of describing it in a couple sentences, and see what it gives me. That is backed up. Sorry, I'm going to share this one instead. That is backed up by split books to justify each positive indicator. NPS. I'm not going to say, actually, I'm not going to define it. I would usually give it a lot more instructions, but I'm going to keep it like this. I'm saying in one sentence what I did in the past with this massive prompt, right? Oh, sorry, you can't see this. So if you can see this prompt, sorry, I keep going back and forth. This is a large prompt before, right? So fairly large prompt. And with this one, I'm doing the same request with one sentence. So now I'm curious what kind of results we get as I don't control it and just see what it comes up with.
Hey, while we wait on this quick answer, can you text Altman in the WhatsApp group we're in together and tell him that I don't have 5.0 yet, and I'm pretty upset about that. So if he could get on that for me, that'd be great.
Sammy boy.
Come on, dude. Come on, man. J-Mo needs access. How come Coach gets all the cool toys?
Come on.
And I get.
You remember when you first signed up for the Pro ChatGPT and you're like a week after me? I think that's what it is, because I was just like, I signed up earlier. I think they do it by level of signups. I think. I don't know, but we'll see.
Must be.
I don't know. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. Okay.
45 seconds.
Okay. Okay. Now I probably should have done this. I'm so sorry. Probably should have totally given it to me in a head table. Give me all of this in a head table. I'm going to see, please. Did you notice today, by the way, that the guys who were prompting showed prompts that did say please and thank you, even though Sam said that's like a waste of energy? Kind of funny.
Yeah, I did see that. But I think that as people, look, I grew up in the South, so I have manners. My kids say, may I please, and yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. So I think I think it's just a matter of you getting comfortable with it, and that if that's what you do, that's what you do. So, I think what can happen is we need Sam to get out of Silicon Valley, come down to the deep South. I'll take him to the country and let him learn how manners are. You open doors, you say yes, and you say please and thank you, all those things.
So you're saying if the AI model was built in the South versus California, would have been like, of course, sir. So sorry, sir. How are you, sir?
Exactly. All that stuff? Yeah. And it may even wave at you, because everyone waves here too. So there may be a thing where you like log on, instead of just saying something, it actually wave at you, So, hey.
Wow. Okay. There we go. It's not bad. Okay. It's not getting it quiet, but it's okay. So I'll have to go through these with a fine tooth comb and see which one I like better, because I don't know yet. I have to take some time to go through this, but interesting to see the difference. Of course, this is to me, it's not like building an app. It's not the same, which I'll probably have to do that as we're talking and just kind of experiment with it, but it'll be interesting to go through each one of these details and figure out, okay, is this better or is the last one better with a more advanced problem? I don't know that, So anyways, fascinating.
The other interesting thing is they still have codecs there on the left side. So like, am I supposed to use codecs or am I supposed to what's the difference? So, I mean, these are these weird things that happen because they launch stuff and they ship stuff so quickly that you're kind of like, what do I use? What do I not use? So Cool, man. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you got it. I appreciate that.
I'm sorry you don't have it. I just barely got as we were talking. I'm so sorry. I'll text Sam right now. Sam,
text him, please. Thank you. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, play with it. I'll be excited when I get it. We'll play with it and kind of, maybe it's something we share next week with everyone. It'll be interesting to see the differences if we can see them, especially if it's. I don't have to be as articulate and structured with my prompt, but I still have to give. Maybe there is some context, but may not have to be as deep and structured. So that'll be interesting to see.
Totally.
How about Anthropic? So I know you want to talk a little bit about them. I think one interesting thing is they blocked OpenAI's access to their models. We talked a little bit about them using engineering or the OpenAI engineers using it, and right before this release, Claude or Anthropic blocked them, which is interesting. But Claude also had a release 2 days ago on a new Opus 4 model. So
the 4.1.
4.1. And so tell me a little bit. You've been you sent a thing in our chat around using it. So anything specific you liked about it or see the other models?
What's interesting is that ChatGPT used to be my go-to for pretty much all things. I used to go to like literally everything from conversation analysis to making creative stuff. And now I'm finding myself going more to Claude, interesting enough. Like I'll have to play GPT-5 and see if I'm going to change back. But like Sonnet is awesome for like the helping me think through newsletters and writing and LinkedIn posts and kind of keeping my voice a little bit more genuine. Like that's one thing I like about Claude is that I always tell people when I teach them that Claude is like more literal with examples. So if it has a transcript of me speaking, it's more true to my voice than ChatGPT is because ChatGPT gets more creative. And then you have the 4.1, which is more logical, like the coding, super smart version of it, which I found. I didn't see like the jump from 4.0 to 4.1 to be drastic, but it has been better as far as coding and performance. Like when I'm doing artifacts, it's doing the artifacts that used to be complex on the first shot versus having to go through 3 or 4 times and trying to get it right, So it's been faster from a artifact creation standpoint, which what I really noticed, it was just the value of how good it was doing in artifacts. So kind of
that's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to try. I haven't had much time to test. I do, however, use to your point. That is one. There's 2 things I use Claude for mainly. One is for writing. I do all my writing there. Whether it's writing documents, writing newsletters, doing thought partners, like store different points of view or things like that. I do think it's better there. I will say, and it's probably because I'm not on the max version. Are you on the max version or are you on the pro version of Claude?
Yeah, the max one. I write full transparency. I write it off because it's part of the business, so I'm gonna write it off. So
yeah. I'm probably gonna have to do that because I now use it so much in far of like brainstorming.
Nice.
I'll set up they don't call it projects. What do they call it? Artifact? No.
Which one?
What's their grouping? What's their grouping that they call? Hold on, shit. It's right here. Projects. They just projects. Okay. Yeah.
Projects.
So I set up different projects for things and give it, like information of its knowledge base. So I'm gonna have to upgrade now because I keep running out of tokens and context. So it's like, hey, sorry, you're gonna have to start a new chat. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
that's the part that's annoying.
I just spent 2 hours on this whole thing with you, and now I got to start a whole new chat, and that's what drives me nuts. So
that's the part with Claude that drives me crazy too. I would rather it tell me, hey, you're about to like hit your context window, which means I know it's going to forget stuff, but it just stops you, whereas ChatGPT usually just runs, I don't know if you noticed this too, but like obviously Sonnet doesn't take as long to get your context window, but Opus runs out fast with tokens. Like you hit your max on that thing quick, super fast, which drives me crazy because you're getting right in the middle of things. You're like, I'm almost there. And then it stops you like, it drives you nuts.
Well, and I think that's something they need to figure out. I mean, I know, and ChatGPT is a little bit ahead on the memory side, but there's got to be like this to me is if I'm going to run out and I got to start a new chat, that's fine. But then how can I port over or how can I put into memory, at least in that area, like what we just talked about? So I can continue. I don't. Yeah, that's something I just don't really understand because, and maybe you have a thought or know this, and I know I'm throwing you on the spot because I don't know the question. I don't know the answer, so I'm asking if I'll go
Well,
research
I
and figure
know
it out.
all things, so
What
it's fine.
I know you do. I know you're just too connected and everything else. But like, why can't I just keep going? Why do I have to start a new chat? Like, why can't I just keep going in the one that I got? What's the difference? I don't understand. I don't I don't get that, if that makes sense. So
I actually do not know the reason why. I don't know. I don't know why they stop it. So it
it
beats
just
me.
seems weird, right? Don't it? It
Yeah,
seems
it's
seem like
weird.
a weird thing to do.
I'm sure they have it in somewhere. I'll have to go look at it now because it's something wanted. It's probably in their docs somewhere, but I don't know. I have no idea why.
Yeah, but I'm gonna
You
go
would think
try
though,
artifacts because
what I would love though is if they could tell you that you're getting like 75% of the way there and say it does like an automatic package of some kind and saying, here, you're almost there. Here's like a good high level view of everything you've done. Or something, so you kind of know what's coming. Because otherwise, it never tells you. You just stop and you're like, oh, if I knew it, would have known this, I would have done something different last chat.
right.
So yeah,
Yeah,
bugs.
no, absolutely,
I'll
absolutely.
call up.
It is
What's his
one of
name?
those
Dario.
bugs.
You have Dario's number.
Dario.
You call him up and
Yeah. I'll call him up. I'll call him up. Be like, "What's going on,
yeah,
Dario?" So
yeah.
no problem. we spend enough money with him to do that. So yeah, he should definitely
Right.
no problem.
I know.
And we run in the same
Jeez.
circles, So
Totally.
all right, my friend. What else? We got anything else we want to talk about today? Or those are two big. Two of the big foundation models launched some new models this week. So that's probably the biggest news. But anything else you wanna hit up?
You shared some really cool articles, which we don't have time. I'll put it in the newsletter, which will be coming out. I wanted to wait till today to do the newsletter, so the newsletter will come out tomorrow with some of the updates from GPT-5.
Cool.
But there's some really interesting articles that, in fact, one of them was I wanted you to talk about, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
One was wait for it. The HubSpot report you posted, which I thought was fascinating. The state of AI and startup GTM, which is really cool. And you posted the other one with Mark Benioff talking about what they're using for AI and big layoffs, whatever that was. I don't know if you had a chance to read that one, but those are interesting, I think. So
yeah. We should
thoughts?
definitely unpack those. I think for the Mark Benioff one, it's a little bit. I'll kind of give it a short version, and then we can unpack them. But it was interesting with the Mark conversation because he came out and was talking about how AI was. I think initially how AI was going to take jobs, and they're using AI for everything, and yada yada yada. Now my understanding is, Agent Force is having some challenges, but what he said, and I thought it was pretty bold, is he's almost taking a different stance. And again, maybe he wasn't as I'll have to go back and look. I don't know what his original stance was on AI taking jobs. But he's basically calling out other people right now, other CEOs, for saying AI is an excuse for job cuts. And so a guy who's selling AI, right, as a replacement for like customer support and other things, is basically saying, CEOs are blaming AI for layoffs, but they're not actually using it. In fact, what was interesting, I'll give this stat, was, companies are citing like this AI transformation as, for in their layoff announcements. But I thought this was interesting. Only 40% of those companies have real AI implementations. I was like, whoa.
Right.
that's a thing. So anyway, so I think, look, we talked about it a lot, but I think, is AI going to replace some jobs? Absolutely. Every technology shift does. Will it probably replace more types of jobs than any other technology shift? Yes, I think it will. Is it going to replace wholesale, a whole team? Don't think so. Jury's still out on that one. Is it going to replace, a whole entire organization? Are there going to be like one person organizations? Maybe if you start that way, but once you get big, like you gotta, you're going to have to ultimately hire people. So I think like there's, it's kind of hard to sift through that noise. So I think that was a quick version of that. Now the HubSpot report, we should definitely go in depth on. I think there's a lot of good, information.
There's some good stuff.
Yeah, there's a really good, and I think it's interesting because there's always been a dilemma of what do I put in my product versus how much time and effort of, resources, investment do I put in my product for AI versus how much of that do I put internally to leverage AI and get the
Right.
efficiencies or acceleration. And I thought that, showcasing, they kind of broke down and showcased that. And I think it's a real struggle and a real challenge. And ultimately, I think one of the key highlights was really talking about, do you have a dedicated team that helps you do this? How do you implement AI?
Yep.
Is there
Yep.
leadership? And we were just on a call yesterday with some folks, and we were chatting this up too about, like, how do you do it? How do you, do you need,
It's a good
to hire
question.
people? Yeah, it's great. And the thing is like, ultimately, whoever's helping, right? There's got to be some decentralization. It can't just be a central group that's their, they're responsible and accountable for doing that, and there's no stakeholder involvement, right? Because they don't have the domain. So
Yeah.
that's like IT running all your agents in go to market. How would it, anyone love IT to work their go to market strategy, implementation, and process? That
So
would be
you
phenomenal. I would love to see how that works.
I had an interview from Chase Bank's CEO the other day, and he talked about how they hired some crazy smart AI head of something or other, and they moved it from IT to report to him directly, the CEO. And that person,
Interesting.
the person there has an AI team, but their job is to go out and pretty much be like a kind of like a go-to-market engineer, but it's for the entire company. So they go out to each place and they're AI experts.
Yep.
But a YC commentator talked about this too, how the best founders are the ones who literally go sit in Kansas with a tractor salesperson and sit down with them and says, what's your pain points, and build an app that fits
Mm-hmm.
the pain points. It's literally the same thing, but it's inside of Chase, where the AI people go in and say, salesperson, accountant, whatever, tell me all the pains you have. And they've been doing this for
Yep.
a year and a half. And anyways, it was fascinating to listen to him. So it almost seems like they have this center, but they're like sprawled into the rest of the company, but they're AI engineers, or not engineers like from a coding perspective, but like they're a workflow engineer. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like
No.
workflow / AI. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I love that. I love the, if you can pull that off and execute it, where it's like, we have technical expertise and someone, the whole Amazon calls it the STL, like the single threaded leader, right? You wake up every day thinking about, breathing, and living this, right? If it's just something, that's why I think there's got to be something, whether it's a center of excellence or you hire a person, but someone's got to be waking up, breathing, and thinking about, how do I eliminate drag, how do I accelerate the business from revenue perspective, et cetera, using AI. That's got to happen. What it
Dude,
can't be is like oh yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry. Go
Because
ahead.
what it can't be is like a top-down mandate that, hey, we're going to do this, hey, we're going to do that, because you still need domain expertise in the business function. You still need people that can do, implement it, use it if you got to use it, or it actually eliminate the friction, like to your point, like embedded with them. I think all of those things are super critical. So if you do it the right way, you can definitely do that. But go. You found something.
I was going to share this real quick. So I want to experiment with GPT-5. So there's right here. So I give a very, very simple prompt right here. Can you make me an app that would help someone understand the use case of Momentum.io and do not exclude any use cases? Need a visual that person can click on and deep dive into different use cases and capabilities. It says, heck yes.
Heck yes. Love that. Heck yes.
Yeah, and then it did a thing where I could run so it gives me the code, and then I push run code, and it does it in Canvas, and then it loads this up, and I have this. I don't know if it's gonna be. Oh, we did it really fast the first time, so this might take a second, but it creates that visual I just showed you. I don't know why it's like struggling, which actually was pretty good. Like without any instructions, I barely gave it anything, and it went in deep with all this different stuff, which is kind of cool. My curiosity is like if I can share that. Look at that. I can share the canvas, kind of like the artifacts. So
nice.
I'll have to play with a couple of things and make them, and then you tell me if you like the artifacts better or if you like the GPT-5 thing. I don't know why it's not loading. How can not loading GPT-5? Quit slacking off.
It is new. I mean, look, maybe they decided to give me mine.
There we go.
Maybe
there we
that's
go.
the problem.
So okay, I can search the use cases. I can say like enablement, which they don't have anything, which is sad. Revenue. So I click on this. I mean, it's not bad. I have to work this out, but it's kind of a cool thing. You can work through this, if I wanted to. It's not bad.
That's
It's
not
cool.
bad for that simple prompt you just gave.
Yeah, super simple prompt. It's not bad. I mean, I can make it prettier. I'm sure someone who knows design better than I do can make it way prettier, but still, it's pretty good. Not bad.
All right,
Not too shabby.
bad.
It's just like the most expensive technology ever on the planet. It's not bad. It'll please me for now.
I will be pleased for now. Yes,
I will be pleased.
Well, yeah. I think yeah. Let's if I ever get access, I'll try it out. But until then, I'm gonna rely on you to tell me how wonderful or not wonderful it is, and all the many things you're doing with it. So, all right, my friend. Well, as always, good to catch up. It's great. A lot of things happening. We're here to help. Check us out at AIBusinessNetwork.ai. We're here every week. And until next time, hope you have a great week ahead of you, and make sure you stay curious and use AI every day. Cheers.
Thanks, y'all.